Hi guys, welcome down the rabbit hole. Can you hear me? Is the sound okay? For those of you who are here already, like you are shining rock stars. Very few people get here like right at the time that I start, and you are amazing. And I'm rewarding you by showing you the most amazing clip, my favorite clip in all of Sisterwives history, I'm pretty sure. So let's take a look.
For years. Cody used to like my turkey until he had robins, and I guess hers is that much. That just sounds. Mine is sweet, hers is savory. He could like it both if he wanted. He did sign up for liking everybody's turkeys.
Welcome. Okay, that is like my new favorite clip in all of Sisterwives history. I was wondering, like, when I saw that clip, I was like, is Mary drunk in this interview? This is kind of how she acts when she's like selling her wares with LuLaRoe, and she's usually like drinking something. I have a drink myself. Make sure you have a drink and that you're all cozy because, guys, we're not obeying any YouTube laws tonight. Like, this live is going to happen and then it's going to be struck and taken down because we're like watching just the whole. We're watching what I want to watch of Sisterwives, and it's not going to be like, oh, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It's like we're just watching it, and when this is over, they're going to take it down. So, like, pull up a chair, you know? Hi, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm underprepared for this live. I know, Tiffany. I'm glad you feel the same way because I was just like, what? Let's watch it again real quick for those who are just coming in. For the slackers who just got here. I'm just kidding. This is my favorite clip. Me and Tiffany, we love this clip.
For years. Cody used to like my turkey until he had robins, and I guess hers is that.
Welcome down the rabbit. All right. I love that clip. I mean, and they need to like emphasize it and put it out everywhere. Like that should be what that would draw people in. Like get Mary out there talking about like drunk in her interviews, talking about like Cody needing to lick everyone's turkey. I mean, I'm serious. This is going down when this live is over. We're not going to be able to keep this one up. Okay, so number one fan says, so glad you are doing a video tonight. I really didn't have much time to prepare. Thank you so much for those of you who stick in with me. Like, you know, it's my life. It's going to get, I am in the next week, I'm going to get to a place where I have a lot of time. And so at that point, I should be more professional. I should be more on top of it. But my kids still aren't in school. We have a couple more days. And today was like full of meetings. She said like, okay, let's see. Tiffany, she said like, but I believe in her heart she meant lick. So that's where I went with it. You know, she's like, I can't even go there right now. I just have had a lot going on. Today was, maybe I'll talk about my life and like stuff with the school and my kids at the end of this live, or I might do it like in a members only live or something. But let's see. Mama Cat, my preschooler started today. Awesome. I hope that your preschooler had a really good day, but if not, it's okay because it's not about one day. It's about, you know, the amalgamation of like the entire year. No one should think like the first day has to be perfect or like any day has to be perfect. You know, I definitely think that about my kids. I'm not like one day makes or breaks it. Tulip Farm, so good to see you. I love your face too. I love your hands that are in a heart. They're so sweet. Let's watch this one more time because I just love it, love it, love it. And let's listen for the lick because I believe there's a lick down there somewhere in Mary's heart. All right. Make it big so we can all see.
For years. Cody used to like my turkey until he had robins, and I guess hers is that much. That just sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I hear lick in my heart of hearts. I hear lick. Okay. Well, I'm the teacher, so all the kids are mine. Oh, okay. No, it's hard to be the teacher. So I met my son's teacher today, and I got a feeling she was quite nervous to meet me. And she was being so sweet, and I feel for her. It's a situation for her, for sure. Tiffany says mine are grown. Oh, okay. Nancy says, how can we be a member? I just want to say that I did create this membership on my channel, but I've never become a member to anyone else's channel, so I don't even know how it works. I'm so sorry. People have told me that there's a button on my channel that'll say join, and then you join the membership. I'm going to look into it and make a video of how to do it. But I really want you guys to know you don't have to join the membership. I made the membership because my understanding is that I could put videos up that are membership that would have like long clips in them, and YouTube wouldn't remove it, or it seemed like I could do some more free things over there. But also, like, because I thought that I would talk about some things that I think about, for example, Mary, that other people find offensive. And like, if you're paying to watch me, paying $1 a month to watch me, like, hopefully you'd be someone who'd be like, I'm into her, so whatever she says, like, is whatever. Like, so I will make a video eventually about like, this is how you get a membership and this is how you do it. But my understanding is there's just a join button on the channel. I'm sorry, I don't know more. I care very little about how these things work, but I'll find out eventually. Okay. So, all right, there's a lot of people talking. I'm so glad you're here. And I love you. And like I said, this live is probably going to happen and then go down because I just put something together quickly. I've had a lot going on that I want to share and like talk about with you guys. And it's going to be like long clips. It's not going to be short enough to like stay up on YouTube. Sometimes they leave it up, but what they'll do is they'll leave it up, but they'll give any revenue to Sisterwives TLC. So maybe they'll do that, which would be good, but we'll see what happens. Okay. So I pre-made this video with clips that I want to talk about, but then also me talking about a portion of the Sisterwives book. And then we'll just like chat and do our own thing in between. So let's just take a quick look. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, let's get it started.
Hers is that much. That just sounds.
Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. We're here tonight to take a look at season 18, episode 1 of Sisterwives. We are back in the swing of Sisterwives, and many people have written to me, and I've also seen some commentary online saying that episode 1 was boring and stupid, and I have to tell you that I honestly didn't feel that way, but maybe that's because I also spent a lot of time really focused on checking out everyone's like new makeup, what they're wearing, and I just find it really interesting. They keep switching it up on me. Like last year, I really tried to wear my eyebrows like Robin, but then she changed them, so I washed all that shit off, and now I have my sparse crap eyebrows, and my Robin has gone back to the like stamped on look. So like they just keep switching it up for me and keeps me on my toes, and I love that about them. I do love it about them. I'm so excited that Robin, we're going to see, went back to like the older eyebrow look. I love it on her. I love it for her. Like it matches her personality so well. It's who she is at this point. And I don't know if you guys remember that I made that shirt that was like Robin Brown fan club shirt, and it had the eyebrows, and I like kind of threw it away because I was like, this doesn't apply anymore. But now I can like fly back to Malaysia and find it in the trash and bring it back so we all can wear it. I see you guys. Kat, I just want to say real quick, Kat, why don't you have a wrench? You're supposed to have a wrench. So if you have your wrench, then you should have a membership already. You and I should talk about it. I'll figure that out. I don't really understand how membership works. I'm so sorry. People are asking. I have to figure it out. I saw someone was gifted a membership. That's awesome. Whoever did that. That is so sweet of you. I don't I'm so sorry that I don't understand how it works. We can talk about it more at the end of the video. And I'm going to learn Craft Lady. That was like, I don't know how you did that, but that was really, really sweet. And we'll talk about it more at the end of the video. But the eyebrows, I'm so into her eyebrows. We'll see them soon. And I just think it's right for her. It's the right thing for her. You know, like people make fun of it, but it's good for her. Okay, so let's go to this big thing here. The thing that I'm bringing to my lives about Sister Wives to like spice it up a little bit is that I'm going to interweave information that I want to bring to you from the Sister Wives book called Becoming Sister Wives, the story of an unconventional marriage. I haven't read it before. And as I was looking through like some of the first chapters, I thought to myself, like, this is interesting because this book is sort of like how they perceived themselves and how they wanted to display themselves to the world when they were still pretending to be happy. I love that. So I'm going back to this book that they, you know, the Sister Wives put out like years ago, and it separates out like their stories of love and how they all came together. Craft Lady, I don't know who you are, but that was like amazing of you to gift people. So sweet. A membership. And I don't know how to do it. And I will talk more about it at the end. You guys are amazing. Such a nice like community of people. So for those who are like, oh, I really want a membership, just know like I will look into it too, because the only reason I even did the membership, like I said, I don't take money from you guys. It's just that so if I can figure out how to gift them, I'll do that too. Anyway, everyone will figure it out at the end of this. But I'm into this book. I have bought the book and I'm going to interweave it through like this season. So when we go live, I'll be talking about like excerpts from the book that I think really apply to that episode. So this episode, I'm really going to focus on Mary Brown, even though I loved Robin's eyebrows, but Robin appears a lot in Mary's scenes. So let's see what people are saying. Women, Robin's mad now that her daughters don't even get to be the part of this family she works. Yeah, for sure. She's like, she has a lot of resentment going on. Okay, so gifted memberships are given out by YouTube, so it's fair. Felony Melanie. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Kat, you can't choose who gets gifted, sadly. Oh, it just randomly out. Wow, that is so nice that this person is gifting people memberships. I'll try to figure it out. And Kat, you should have one because you should have a wrench. So you and I should talk because you've already been like a huge part of my channel. So we'll just talk later about it and I'll figure it out. And like I said, as far as memberships go, I'm going to talk more about it. I'll figure out if I can give people some memberships or something. I don't want anyone to be left out, but I also didn't want like assholes to be part of the membership. I never block anyone. I never delete any comments. Someone wrote recently, they're like, you deleted my comment. I was like, I have never deleted one comment. If a comment was deleted, it was maybe because sometimes YouTube thinks things are inappropriate and puts them in like it's like a separate place. And so you can't see them anymore. But I never even go and look at them. I just don't have the time for stuff like that. So maybe it got sent there. So I told the person I never would delete your comment. Just type it again. You know, type it in a different way. Maybe YouTube thought something was wrong with it, but I would never delete it. But when it comes to memberships, like if someone's an asshole there, then I'm going to kick them out, you know, because it's going to be stuff like things I find down my rabbit holes that I don't always share because maybe it's not fully substantiated, but it's hella interesting, you know? So like, that's kind of what I wanted to do with the membership. I don't know how to give it to people. I'll figure those things out. So sorry but you guys know, like I'm really learning. I'm still learning about things. Okay. So, okay, let's go see. I'm all about Robin. I'm excited. Like, I think like when Fifth Wife comes back, she'll be sporting out Robin's eyebrows because that's my favorite part of Fifth Wife. So I'm just like really excited about all of it. Okay, so let's watch a little bit. And now, season 18, we're seeing like the breakdown of all the marriages and how they're displaying like their true feelings about their lives and their relationships. So here we go. We're going down a dual rabbit hole. Guys, I've never made my husband a turkey. So oh my gosh. That's why our marriage is failing. That's why he's abroad and I'm here by myself, right? I've got to work on that. We've got Becoming Sisterwives book over here and the new season on this side. Let's take a look at some clips from episode 1.
It's been a long time.
My first clips are really going to focus on Mary because chapter 1 of Becoming Sisterwives is all about Mary. So let's get... Okay, so a lot of people were talking online. Oops, I messed it up. A lot of people were talking online. They said that they thought this episode, I don't know how many of you have actually seen it. Probably everyone's seen it, was really dumb because the whole premise of the episode is kind of like looking back. Okay, first and foremost, number 1, I think that this filming is a year to 2 years behind where we are now. When I did research, that's what everyone was saying, that some scenes were almost like 2 years ago in 2021. Like, how is that possible? How can you put a like show on that's like so far behind? So I'm still kind of like trying to figure out how that all happened. I know it's related to COVID, like they stopped doing its thing for a little while. Amy says, we'll talk about memberships at the end. And don't worry, Yvonne, I'll help you as well. I know you're always here. So anyway, they're like really behind and super annoying for me because things just don't match up, right? And I'm sure you guys probably feel that way too. It just is weird. So they're talking about, this whole episode is like they're going back. We're seeing a lot of clips from the episode like last season, and Cody is just like, yeah, like I'm losing all my wives. They're just kind of recapping everything. So people are like, this is dumb. It's not really worth it. But what I found really interesting was like some shit that I came up with, like watching Mary interact with Robin. So we're going to see most of those clips. I thought I was just watching the whole episode with you guys, but I just don't have them for it. It'll be too late for me to do all that. All right, so let's take a look. Get into it. What did Mary have to say when she was pretending to still be in love with Cody Brown? Okay, chapter 1 is called Mary and Cody, and there are lots of like little hearts all around the paper, and that's how you know they were in love. So I'm pulling out these clips. This is the part of the episode that's very focused on like Robin and Mary's interaction, and I just found it fascinating. Like, number 1, I was like super annoyed that they're still meeting outside of the house. Okay. Like, still Mary's coming to Robin's house and Robin's like not letting her into the house. And it's like, is that what family is? Is that how a family operates? Now, going down the rabbit hole, a lot of people were saying that this clip is from almost 2 years ago. I'm not sure if I believe that, but maybe. Okay, maybe it's from 2 years ago. And they were saying that like, so COVID would have still been in swing, kind of like a thing. We can't really judge it by what's going on now, but I still judge it because are you guys family or are you not? You know, look at it. Yeah, okay, first off, I love this from Mary Burke. If Robin had a real friend, they would take her to have her eyebrows done properly. Yes. Now, I've read and I've heard that one thing that's in the Sisterwives contract, this is so interesting to me, is that they will do their own makeup for the interviews and for the show. So allegedly, Robin does her eyebrows herself like that because she like really chooses. That's not like a professional doing her makeup. Supposedly because of like their religious beliefs and whatever else, they had like it stipulated in the clause that they would like pick their clothing and they would do their own makeup. Isn't that interesting? I'm still like trying to fully confirm that, but I've read it in many sources. So people have specifically stated that Robin must be purposely like doing her eyebrows like that. It's not like someone like she just has bad advice from someone. She's doing her makeup. So it's quite interesting. Okay. Robin's eyebrows look like fragments. Yeah. They just keep getting more and more interesting for me. Okay. So Mary's arriving at Robin's house. They're still like going to meet outside, which drives me the crazy. And okay. So I actually want to talk about this. I have a major issue with what Robin and Cody like their whole mindset about COVID. I think we've talked about it before, but it's becoming like more and more apparent to me. I truly believe, and this is my allegation, like I cannot fully back it up. I don't know if you guys have, I don't want to go into it, but I've done all this background on like doomsday stuff in Mormonism. And I absolutely believe that when COVID hit, Cody and Robin came to believe that the rapture was going to happen. And that is one of the reasons why they completely holed themselves up in that house, refused to leave, and basically shunned everyone else. I believe that they thought we were all going to be like killed in a fiery like hellstorm and that they would survive. Maybe a couple of the other wives would survive. I truly believe, because a lot of doomsday people within the Mormon church did believe that COVID was the start of like a rapture occurring of some kind, like the end of the world and only the righteous will survive. I believe that Cody and Robin thought this way. Okay. And my whole thing about that is like, what assholes? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, lock those doors, push those sister wives and other kids out, and make sure that Katie Rabbit Brown, like, she dies in a fiery blaze in Malaysia. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted all of us to just, do you know what I mean? I think that's insane when you really think about it. I believe that that may have been a big part of why they segregated themselves from everyone else for so long. Okay, so let's do this.
I think I remember Cody giving you some coats for Christmas.
Now, allegedly, Mary is writing this chapter. I mean, I believe they had a ghostwriter help them with this kind of stuff, but whatever. So Mary says, she tells us a little bit about her early life. She says that she grew up in California with both parents, and they were devout followers of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So Mary's parents were not like initially polygamists, and I do find that like kind of interesting. I'm like kind of into the book. And I'll be talking more in other videos as well. Let's learn a little bit more about Mary. When Mary was a baby, her mom had a friend who left the church to go into like polygamy and get involved in plural marriage. And I guess Mary's mom started reading about this and thought it would be a really good idea for their family. They were living in California, but Mary's mom suggested they actually move to Utah so that they could more easily practice plural marriage. Okay, so I'm Alive says, remember when Cody asked Christine if she wanted her share of the pantry? That was their stock, 110%. That's one of the realities, the facts that I use as kind of like to bolster my belief that Cody and Robin do believe in end times. And I am aware that there were a lot of Mormons, a lot of people in every religion who were like, oh, the time has come, you know? Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, thought that. And I don't, fault them for whatever belief they had. But it's interesting to me that you still had a choice to make, right? Some people ran towards helping those in need during this time, even if they believed that the rapture was coming and God was going to wreak havoc on whoever, nurses, doctors, essential workers, or even people who weren't any of that. And they went out and they did what they could to help other people. I was living in Mexico at the time. It was hard for low income families during COVID. And I just remember there were people who ran towards helping others. And then there were like a group of people who kind of held back, which is like probably the vast majority of people. These are people that are like, I don't really have a lot to give. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I've got a family. I've got to take care of my kids at home. And, they did their quarantine. They did what they were required to do by the government. And they're trying to like figure out their own lives. But I still think people like Cody and Robin took it a step further where they were like, yeah, let me get out to my house where it's like 1,000,000 miles away from everyone and like put a fence around it and make sure I have like 5 generators and get like 1,000,000 pounds worth of food. And then even though we have other wives, like cut them off. Sorry, Cody. Like we're not going down. We're not the ones who are going to go down. I just really think that Robin and Cody's response to it was so hardcore that it makes me uncomfortable with who they are as people. Like, what is in your heart that you're like, Janelle, you're just going to have to go live in like an apartment somewhere and like try to segregate yourself and quarantine your own kids. And I know they're going out a lot. That's they're probably going to die in a fiery brimstone, but we'll be okay. Truly, sorry, truly. But Robin's kids, they'll be okay. Like, what kind of person are you if that's sort of, now they're never going to say that, but in their heart of hearts, is that what they were doing? Is that what they were thinking? I have some thoughts that that's what was going on. Okay. Jane Marie, Mormons keep a year's supply for the just in case needs for the reasons you are stating to help survive or if they snowed it. Yes, this is a big part of like their religion. And so I'm not saying it's like just for the end times, but I do think I think that it's part of what was going on with Cody. Okay. Cindy K. I guess I never got the feeling that either Cody or Rob were okay. Cindy says, I guess I never got the feeling that either Cody or Rob were particularly true believers in anything but their stuff and their things. Yes. But I think that changed when COVID hit. And this is where I've like read and heard some things from people who supposedly know them. I can't fully confirm it, but that there was like this change in a lot of people, Cody and Rama being one of them, where they're like, oh shit, it's real. Like, actually, that's why I think they had to run away from it. Whereas like true believers, people who truly are like, I've lived my life for this moment to, see Jesus Christ or whatever, become part of it. They can run towards the people that they think are gonna perish. They could run towards helping other people. But Cody and Robin were like, we were wrong all along. We better like get further into our faith. And that contributed to this overwhelming fear and anxiety that erupted, especially in Robin. And then it kind of consumed everything that they did during COVID. Allegedly, in my opinion, based upon what I've read, based upon what I've seen. So that's how I feel about it. Let's see what else. I didn't see much religion in Cody and Robin. Agreed. And as I've said, I think that took like there was a whirlwind of things that happened when COVID hit. And they were kind of like, oh shit, this is kind of what I've read and kind of what I've seen. I'm not Mormon, but I don't feel okay without a solid pantry. Yeah, I mean, well, that's kind of different. Pantry is having extra food around is like for any kind of disaster, just makes sense, right? Oh. Big Mama's house, especially with no sister wives to get them to heaven. Seriously. Big Mama's House podcast. Huh. Did you send me a message? We've got a chat. Check out Big Mama's House podcast. I haven't been over there yet, but I would love to come over and see. Okay. After Robin talked about her purity, I saw no more family church. Yeah, that's Adriana's talking about this scene in which they did family church. Do you guys remember that episode? And Robin was like, I'm holding my purity in my hands, and they gave it to the wrong person. It was just like a lot. Okay. I could see Robin panicking, actually. I think it was the anxiety. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Maybe I'll put up more information about this eventually once I get it all together. Okay, let's go back to what I was talking about here, which seems weird to me. Like, I'd like to know more about the mindset of Mary's mom, that she really wanted to bring more women into her relationship with her husband.
They're at home in my closet.
Blanket?
No, I forgot to bring it.
Do you want me to
Okay, in this scene, it's like Mary's showing up and she's like, Robin, come outside because we're going to do like our time where we talk together and they film us. And Robin kind of comes out like, hey, Mary, so surprising to see you here. Just don't come in the house. So they're still doing all of that. And now Robin, like, I just think Robin is so underhandedly annoyed with Mary. Like, I think it's just kind of coming out. Like, look at her face here. Okay. So Robin comes out and it's cold and Mary's like wearing a blanket or something. And Robin says all this stuff where she's like, didn't Cody like buy you a coat? Where's your coat? Like, I just feel like Robin's like, God, I'm so fucking tired of you. I'm so tired of you, Mary. Like, you didn't bring a coat. You show up like, I don't know, without your eyebrows done the way I like them. I mean, she just like seems really annoyed. So they're talking about like, she doesn't have a coat. And Mary's kind of like wrapping the blanket around her. And then finally Robin's like, do you want me to go get you a coat? Like, kind of hoping Mary will be like, no, I'm fine. And Mary's like, yeah, maybe. And then Robin's walking in to go get a coat. And Mary keeps talking. And this is Robin's face when she turns around, which to me just kind of says like, oh my God, stop talking, Mary. Like, just shut up. I'm going to get you a freaking coat. I mean, the facial expressions from Robin maybe I'm wrong, but they just say to me, like, I've got to do this stupid interview with you, loser. Like, that's my feeling. Is like underhandedly, Robin's like, oh my God, how did I get stuck with this one? Let's see. Do they really have foster kids? I'm going back and forth on this one, Tiffany. I think it's probably not true. I'm still trying to figure it out. I got a couple sources that I looked into. I think maybe not. Okay. Did she say they get? Oh yeah. So that was the other thing I don't really understand. Where Robin's like, didn't Cody give you 2 coats for Christmas? Why is Cody Cody gave? So Cody was like, oh, I have to get Mary a Christmas present. I always give her 2 things, and I'm really freaking annoyed with that girl. How can we get her to go away? Let's just give her a bunch of coats. I guess. I mean, what are they? 2 coats for Christmas? Why? Ivana, do you see that too? Because I was really and we'll see. Let's see more.
Out of fall and I forget that it's cold outside.
I think for what Mary has to work with, this is a good hairstyle for her. I do wonder how much time she spends strategically placing the curls, and I just feel God, I'll never be as good as these other sister wives. I've got to mimic their style better. I'm so free flowing with my bullshit hair. You know what I mean? I've got to get more exact, deeper, fatter, more stamped eyebrows, curls placed very specifically with hairspray. I just love watching for that reason, to think about how I could look more like the kind of woman that turns Cody Brown on, you know? One thing I want to say is I've heard a lot of people they'll look at these new pictures of Mary and they'll post wow, doesn't Mary look amazing? And it 100%, almost all of Mary's pictures are you can see they're very heavily filtered. Not saying anything negative, but just people are did she have plastic surgery? She looks amazing. She's really filtering her pictures, and she can't filter as much in this video here. And I think Mary, you look fine. Stop filtering your pictures so much. I don't this is just my opinion. I don't like when people fake so much. It's okay if you're getting a little older. I think she looks nice here. She doesn't have to filter the crap out of those pictures. Okay, let me see what people are saying. What about watermelons and watermelons? Ramen, maybe she will be if I take a while to find a blanket. Yes. Okay. Her hair looked gorgeous in the magazine interview. Yeah. Okay. It's so much. I'm getting lost. Robin really dips into the brown eyeshadow as well. Robin just reminds me of the color brown. Yeah, like poop, basically. She said brown was her favorite color. I didn't know that. Okay. She is a brown para woman. Okay. What do you do to know if she is surprised? Yeah, I know. She's kind of crazy. Her eyes are weird to me. I think thanks to Cody, Mary has very low self-esteem. Yeah. I think it came before Cody. I think something's deeply rooted in Mary, for sure. I agree with that. I think Mary's kind of off. I don't like all the fake crap. Yeah. Because I think Mary looks fine. I just think people need to stop. Just my opinion. Stop with that. You guys are I like people who are very imperfect. That's what I like about them. I don't know. I just don't get it. That Mary is really weird and almost inappropriate with Robin. Her relationship with Robin is so desperate. I actually think she's more desperate for Robin than she is for Cody. And so she's being like, oh, Cody's jacket. First off, I think Robin brings out Cody's jacket to be like, sorry, you wouldn't fit in one of my jackets. So here's a man's jacket for you. Here you go. But then Mary kind of tries to flip it around oh, it's a hug from Cody. You want to put it on me? And then hug me to make it's just very odd. And then Robin's like, yeah, I look how far away she is, but kind of touching me. I think there's something weird about Mary's relationship and desires for Robin. I am not saying, and this is stuff I want to talk about in my membership, not saying that Mary's gay or that there's nothing I'm not saying it's a sexual thing. I'm just saying that she has weird ways of expressing these like odd needs she has for Robin. I think she likes to touch Robin. She likes Robin. They're just very odd together. And that's something I'll be talking a little bit more about in this video. And then Robin and Mary used to be close. 100% they were close. Yes, that was the whole point, was brought Robin in the family, I believe, because she couldn't get along with the other sister wives, and she thought this was going to be her new best friend. But I think it was almost more than best friends. Mary doesn't see it that way. Mary thinks she's not gay. Mary thinks, you know, there's nothing weird about this like deep desire she has to be like all up in Robin's personal space. I think something weird is going on there. Now, that's just my opinion. You know, there's a lot of like physical touch that Mary does towards Robin where and even like in the earlier episodes, I kind of talked about some of it in the autopsy I did. Like, it's just inappropriate in my mind for like a grown woman. It's like a deep need for this like female touch, female companionship, which is nothing wrong with any of this. I'm just saying like Mary's not very aware of what's going on with her own self, right? Like that's my feeling about it. Could be wrong. That's my feeling about it. I've always thought Mary has a weird obsession. 100%, I think she's fully obsessed with Robin. 110%. Now things haven't gone their way. Their relationship has changed, but there was always something weird about it. Our step back after the catfish thing. Yeah. Big Mama's house. That's a great observation. I agree. Before the catfish thing, they were like this. And it was weird for me. After the catfish thing, the Band-Aid hand is Robin. This is Mary. Mary's chasing Robin. Robin's like, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm thinking and feeling. Okay.
You're welcome, buddy.
Mary's dad was like, sure, why not? Let's head out there, get over there and get some more girls. So I'm interweaving it. And here I'm talking about Mary's dad. So the mom has just said, like, let's move to Utah. I'm interested in polygamy. And the dad's like, sure, why not? Let's do it. Hitched to this wagon. And they moved to Utah when Mary was 5 years old. Mary's mom, I guess, immediately started urging the father to take another wife because Mary was 5 when the second wife joined the family. So literally like right after they got to Utah, someone jumped in her dad's bed, I guess. I'm not trying to be weird here, but that's just what it seems to me. It's interesting to me though, because Mary says that shortly after this wife joined the relationship, things didn't work out and she got the heck out of Dodge. She left. Mary says though, like, it's okay because she still has fond memories of ex-wife number 1 of her dad's.
There was a time.
Okay, is that not a little weird also? That's like really interesting to me. That the whole story with Mary is that like, so they moved to Utah. They're not a polygamous family. They moved to Utah to be part of the polygamous community. Her dad marries a woman. He's with that woman like right away. Like immediately once they get there. Mary's 5. They marry a woman. The woman stays with them for 2 years, but never gets pregnant, never has a baby, and then leaves after 2 years. And Mary writes about it in her book, and she's like, I just have really fond memories of that woman. What happened? You know, why did she leave? What were there issues with like her not becoming pregnant? I think I've heard some interviews where she's like, it just wasn't the right fit, but I really liked her. And I realized like, I really liked having all these different people around. And it made me realize like, that's what I want for my own life. But I question a lot of this. I question a lot of it. I wish like they were on a reality show back then so we could rewind the tape and see what was going on. I think something is really off about that. Like, I know divorce is a lot of stress and paperwork, but if the hubby suggested this, I'd have to give it a go. Yeah, for sure. Mary isn't that touchy with her best friend, Jen. I thought she was a little touchy with Jen, so I need to look more into that because I've also felt like she's doing something weird there. But I do think that Robin is her number 1 touchy. Robin is Mary's turkey. Do you understand what I mean? I just a thought. Don't take me too seriously. Sharing your spouse is yeah. natural no matter how you grew up. Mary was jealous of both Christine and Janelle. Why not jealous of Robin? Yeah, this is like, I really like this point, Jenny, where you're like, sharing your spouse is so unnatural. So maybe that kind of also leads to the weird relationships between the women and the way that Mary's very, in my opinion, like weirdly physical with Robin. Like just even the fact that you're sharing your husband is so odd, and I've never been a part of that, that maybe I don't understand, you know. Also, I want to put out there that I'm not a super touchy-feely person. I am with my kids, but really nothing or no one else. My husband like has we work on together because I'm just very like, oh, I need my space. So I just want to put out there that like I already kind of have this feeling of like, oh, why would people want to touch each other all the time? Just like get it in, get over with. Okay, that's too much. That's too much. They're taking this down anyway, so it's fine. Okay. Let's see. It's like Robin was her gift to Cody, and that's weird. Yeah. That was 100% true, right? It was kind of set up that way. I think Robin was also a gift to herself. Secret gift at that, yes, because they shared that secret for a while, didn't they? Enough said. Enough said, Tiffany.
When he would get, and now Robin's being all chivalrous for me.
Okay, that's the other example that I'm like, he was all chivalrous, but now Robin is being chivalrous for me. I mean, for him. Like, I cannot ignore the elephant in the room. People are going to hop, if this stays up for a little while, people will hop on and be like, how dare you like talk about Mary's sexuality? I don't care. I'm not judging her. I believe, you want to know what I really believe? I believe that anyone at any time could have sex with anyone or anything, because that's just how I believe humans really are deep down inside. So I am very like whatever about it. I just want to talk honestly about the psychology of what I see going on here. And maybe I'm wrong about a lot of things. But I think this is all weird. I think this is all strange. Just me, just how I feel.
For him.
It's a very nice.
When Mary was 10, once again, her mom and dad like decided to take on another wife. And Mary says she was like so excited. It seems to me Mary was like pretty desperate. I don't know exactly why, but like desperate for more family, more people to be around her. Like we see that now with her. She's super desperate to have a relationship with Robin. I don't even believe she cares about her relationship with Cody. It's all about the relationship with Robin, in my opinion.
Coat, maybe it will go missing.
So not too long ago.
Okay, so they're going back and talking about like last season, how they were all fighting, and Mary's just kind of bringing it up. I think this is a good comment from J. Marie. She says, it's not sex, it's companionship. Now put yourself in Mary's shoes. You have one child moved away and the other wives have multiple children to talk to and do things with. Now you are alone. Yes, this is a huge part of the psychology of what goes on with Mary. And then how like everyone kind of interacts with her. Her life is so different from the others. And it's quite interesting. There's so much I could say and talk about with it. I do think that, yes, there's a big, and I also want to put out there, I've read a lot of like studies, you know, they're just kind of in the beginning stages about like how your hormones change throughout your life, how your hormones change having one child versus like many children, how your hormones change like a certain number of years after you have your last child, and how this can affect your attraction to the opposite sex, the same sex. And I find this all very interesting. And I really think that Mary is in such a different place than the other women, such a different place. I think her hormones are different. Her life has been different. Her relationship with Cody has been different. All these things are going on. And there's a lot all at once. And I think this is a good comment, J. Marie. Okay, unpopular opinion. I'm so tired of talking about the holidays. Can we please move on? Yes, Colleen. No, I agree. I think a lot of people are like, this is like such a stupid episode because it's just kind of looking back on like all the shit that went wrong that we've already talked about. And I get that. But I really like this. I'm thinking about the psychology of Mary in this interview. Okay, let's see. Mama Cat says, if Cody wants to talk to his children, he should call them 110%. There's no question about that. Okay. Big Mama's House podcast. Mary isn't new to the interviews. Makes me worry if she doesn't say certain things to increase chatter. Yeah, I agree with that. Big Mama's House. A lot of this could even be scripted. So I'm not, we're dealing with what we're dealing with, right? We have some real life stuff. I have like had a lot of people come to me and say like, I saw Mary doing this, so there's like real life stuff that's going on. Some of it confirms some things on the show, and others like it changes how you feel about the show. So it's so true that we have to kind of keep in mind that they're filming for a show. But I do think with Mary, even general like pictures that I've seen of her, she's weird with Robin, like off the show. I think she's weird with Robin at all as well. Now, I do think that they've drifted apart a lot since the beginning filming. Okay. Kat. Janelle and Christine became close and enmeshed with all the kids coming along. Cindy. She's the only one who's economically well off and independent at that point in the show. Oh, that's right. She's very, I think you're talking about Mary, that she's really in a good place financially, I think. I was shocked we were right back at before the holiday. I know. It's like, let's just talk about the holidays again. Okay, let's go back and listen a little bit more.
Am I the only one that sees this as some kind of betrayal?
Mary does say that she was really shy as a kid and never made friends easily. I mean, maybe that's a part of what's gone on with her as well in her adulthood, is that like having Sisterwives was supposed to mean like she had built-in friends, like people who had to be her friend no matter what, because Cody was going to make them. And that's like what she wants out of life, is someone to force people to stay in friendships with her. Yeah. So in reading the book here, like one thing that was interesting is Mary says like, I was very shy. Okay. I was like really shy as a kid and I had trouble making friends. Gosh. Okay, and I had trouble making friends. And that's one of the reasons why I was like so attracted to polygamy and like the way that the families were so big. And I really wanted to have more family. And this was a big part of why I was so like into actually making this happen. And as a child, I always wanted to be part of a polygamous family. Marissa says, I want to talk about this. I would love to talk about this on my membership too, because I don't want to offend people, but I think we should be able to talk about it. Okay. Mary didn't just have her child move away, but in a big way, she lost her daughter. Nobody ever wants to talk about this, but it's so true. Thank you for saying it, Marissa. And ask the things that, and also the things that moms look forward to. Mary had to grieve while learning about Leon, and it's a lot. So totally agreed. I think that Mary clearly loves Leon very much and is very happy with who Leon is, and that's great. That is the biggest thing that I can say for the Sisterwives is like, I think that they raised really like amazing kids, and the fact that they're just like letting them be free. Like, I think a lot of other people from that community and that culture might ostracize Leon and also some of the other kids and whatever choices they've made. And I really like that the Sisterwives are like, we love our children no matter what, and we want them to make their own decisions. And you'll hear me talk about that. I think that's really the only way you can be with your children. Even if you disagree, even if you think like transgenderism isn't a real thing, like what are you going to do? Like force your kid? They're an adult. They're going to do what they want. So you're just going to harm your relationship with them. I like that Mary has been able to have from what we've seen, an interactive relationship with Leon. They apparently got closer during COVID, and Leon came over and stayed at like Lizzie's Inn with her. I don't know if it's fiance or wife. But anyway, like, or husband now. I'm not really sure. I'm not up on all of that, but I really agree that Mary has had a lot happened to her. She has one child, and that child not only like changed a lot, but moved away. You know, you can see some of the other children stay close to their moms, but Leon was like, see you later. And they've struggled, right? They fought. We've seen that on the show. Okay. Okay, her daughter is a dead name now. That's so much grief. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And I think it's like, it really bothers me when people are like, you can't even talk about that. no, we can acknowledge this. The mother is a person too. The father is a person too. And Leon has every right to do whatever they want with their lives. I'm fine with that. I've thought about this for my own children. If they go that route, yes, I will grieve. It will be hard and I will love and accept them as they are. But I'm not gonna be like, I can never say that it really hurt me or that I really miss calling them by the name that I gave them. I want to be able to say my truth, just like they should live and say their truth. The end. Okay. Kat says Leon was the oldest and moved away first. Yeah, that was kind of sad to see. And then, really stayed away in a lot of ways. Okay. J. Marie, that's why Robin didn't integrate her kids into the fold because of what happened with Leon. J. Marie, can you clarify why didn't she do it? I agree. There's nothing wrong with Mary grieving who she thought Leon would be. Yeah, and still loving and supporting them. I totally agree with that. Thanks for saying that. Blessings to you all. Have a good night. Bye. Thank you. All right. I think Robin keeps her kids away from the other kids because they're open and yes, and not anything. I agree with this. So Gwen has come out and other people have come out, and I think they've said that is like super, has always been like one of the first ones to be like, I accept you. If you're going to come out as gay, whatever you come out as, I totally accept that. Okay. And the kids have said that Robin's someone who really accepts that. But I believe Robin accepts it in the other woman's kids. Am I the only one that gets that feeling? I believe that Robin would never want one of her kids to come out and have like any kind of difference. I mean, we all know that Dayton has some differences and Robin's been I think a really good mom to him. But I think Dayton's differences, I think she doesn't mind, but she would mind if it went against like her beliefs, her whole thing that she's doing with her whole religion type stuff and her anxiety and all that. She's okay with the other woman's kids doing whatever the hell they want with their lives. That's the feeling that I get. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Because the kids were all raised as self-thinkers. Yeah. Right. And Robin didn't like that. Yeah, I agree. I really agree with that. Okay. Let's see, Marissa. I don't want to dead name. I fully respect the end. I simply can't imagine raising someone and then not even having a spouse. Yes. See, that's one of the biggest things, right, with that whole situation is that Cody gets to be like, well, I have other kids that Cody always gets to be like, no matter what happens, well, I've got another 20 kids that I can like go be proud of or do whatever with. I mean, I don't mean it that way. I'm sure he's still proud of Leon, but whatever happens, it's just always sort of like different for him because he kind of has spread his feelings and his progeny and all that stuff all around. So if one thing happens to one child, I just get the feeling that he's kind of like, well, I mean, I've got others. I mean, that's awful, but I do feel like that's part of what's going on in this kind of situation where you have so many children, whereas Mary has one child who she's focused her life on. So it's a very different lifestyle. It speaks volumes that none of the Brown kids choose polygamy. Totally agreed, but I'm also really happy that they've been able to just be like, I'm doing that. And I think I talk about it here that Mary says she always wanted her kids to choose who they want to be. That's what she says anyway in the book. Okay, let's listen a little more. Mary says she got like super excited because this new wife that was coming into the family was from a huge polygamous family. So she was like, great, now there'll be like a bunch of kids around and more people like for me to share my life with. And then eventually, over time, her family grew super quickly because her father took on 4 more wives in addition to her mother for a total of 5. And she, as an adult, has 20. Feel better, para women. I'm sorry that you have a bad 27 siblings. Sad. I mean, I feel sad for Mary. If this is really, because they're filming, so maybe this isn't on target with what's really happening. But if Mary's basically like just waiting around there in Arizona, Flagstaff, being like, is anyone gonna invite me? Is it okay if I go for Thanksgiving? Like, if that's her life, it's so wrong. It's wrong, Robin. It's wrong of Cody. Like, that's the thing is Robin's really become, and I don't want to be like awful her because she's a person like the rest of us, right? But she has sort of become like this queen bee. And instead of like being super like welcoming and kind and loving, she's not like that. She's taken a very different stance. And I think like she always comes out like she's talking to Mary here about like what she wants, what she needs. Are you going to be around? Because I need to make a good holiday for my kids. What about all the other kids? What about Leon? What about, I mean, she does bring up here, but like there's just other people besides your kids. You need to do some good, make sure my kids are going to be okay. Yeah, we know Robin. Great.
Mariah, I just never know.
All right, so then she talks about the fact that she literally says, I was in an easier situation than a lot of my siblings, basically because I was the child who was recognized because my mother was the first wife. She writes, since I was the child of my father's first marriage, his legal one, it was simple and natural for my father to be my father in public. Since polygamy isn't widely accepted, for the other kids it could be more difficult to acknowledge their father publicly. To my father's credit, he owned, that is, acted as a true father to every one of my brothers and sisters. I don't know, like, why would you be bringing it up if you hadn't seen at that point in time that there was a big difference in the way that your father, like, interacted or treated you and your siblings? Like, you must have noticed that there was some kind of difference going on, and yet you still wanted to get involved in a marriage like that and be the first wife. Because you were sort of thinking like, yeah, being the child of the first wife made me like special and gave me a lot of like positive things, like lording over the other kids and like the lower rungs of the system. So I'm just gonna like recreate that all again. Maybe that's kind of a sense I get from her. And then growing up, Mary always knew she wanted to be in the polygamous lifestyle. It wasn't even a question for her because, again, she needed to have a husband that was going to force other women to be friends with her. I'm kidding. I'm not, I sound really negative towards Mary, but I don't necessarily feel that way. I thought it was interesting that Mary like makes it a big deal to say that her parents never pushed her towards plural marriage, and they were definitely very much like people should make their own choices about it and like decide if it's really the right route for them. Okay, so Denny Lenny, and I know this is getting long, thanks for staying around, says, why was Mary's mother alone last year if her husband married 4 other women? It kind of proves that sister wives do not stay together after the husband dies. Yes, I've been going down this rabbit hole. I've been looking into it a lot. My understanding is yes, like the wives kind of moved away. They scattered after the death of the husband, and some of them went to go like live with their kids or whatever, and that's sort of what Mary's mom ended up doing. Now Mary is kind of seen, Mary's mom was kind of seen as like a really great matriarch. Even like Janelle will say like, I loved Mary's mom. So that's interesting to me. She was like a big part of from what I've heard, a respected part of the AUB community. But it's like, not everybody ends up in a situation where the sister wives are together and help each other. I think that's like the exception to the rule, is the feeling I'm getting. Although I would love to talk to Moroni Jessup about this. I'm actually making a mental note that I'm going to message him about it. He's in England right now. Please check his TikTok. He's traveling and doing all these crazy things, and it's like amazing. And he has a lot of information. So hopefully I'll be able to talk to him soon. Tiffany, since most of them never worked, maybe they couldn't afford to stay together. Yeah, they were also like very financially, I think dependent upon their children after the dad died. I think that's what happened. Okay. And the only like rule that she says they had in her family was that she did have to go to church. All the kids had to go to church with them. But that they would, they had to go to church with the family, but they could make their own decisions about whether or not they really believed and what they wanted to do with their life.
No, I'll be here.
So I just don't want to assume.
No.
So
I'm really struggling with what's going on right now.
Look at those eyebrows. And that's like the diamond standard for me. Let me see. I want to get like a better shot. Let me see.
Not just with Christine.
Yes. Look at that. Look at the like arch, semi-arch, the way it's kind of like a box. Do you think she tattoos them? Like how can I get? Okay, here's the other thing. See this necklace? Is this a necklace that she's selling? That's what I need to know. She's got to be selling it. Why would she wear it like so prominently on the show if she wasn't trying to make money off of it? So I'm, next, after all this is done, I will immediately be getting on my computer and looking up like, how can I buy this necklace and where can I get my eyebrows tattooed like this? Just so you guys know, that's coming. Stencils. Yes, I've seen that. Oh my God, Tiffany, yes. But I really would prefer it to be permanent. So I'm probably going to have to like fork over a lot of money, which is why I need you guys to keep, somebody needs to keep gifting those memberships. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. Ready?
Leaving, but the boys and Cody and Janelle and all that stuff, it's just like, who are you people? I don't get it. I'm great.
This is so like disingenuous. I guess it's made up for the show, but like it's clear that Cody and Mary have been like basically divorced for a long time now. Okay, Kat Be Kind says Robin is only sad she doesn't have the other wives' money. I don't think she really cares about them or the children. I agree. I think she did want to be like, the money was a thing. I think she also liked being like head wife, kind of like the other wives were still wanting Cody, like trying to make things work. And now she's not like the head member of a harem. It's just her. And actually that makes her feel bad. That's why she doesn't like it to be just her. She liked being the chosen one. Now it's like Cody hasn't been chosen, so she's not the chosen one anymore. You know what I mean? She's definitely not enjoying that.
I just wish it was.
Does Robin have a goiter problem? I've often thought that Robin has thyroid issues. She's never talked about it, so we don't know for sure. Are all of you aware that Robin's ex-husband, Preston Jessup, is dealing with cancer right now? I just want to make sure. I've done some videos about it. I'll try to link. I'm going to link something. I'll get it out to you, maybe in a post or something. Once again, to his GoFundMe, just because like I do really feel for this family. Like I would feel for any family. He has a new family with children and a wife, and Preston is not doing that good from what I've been hearing. And yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes I think that Robin has a medical condition that's undisclosed. This is all me like making allegations. Again, this is going to get struck off my channel, but I absolutely believe that something's going on medically with her. It's the only thing that makes sense. And it's the only thing that makes sense with how scared she was about COVID. Also with the fact that the women were even willing to let her, number one, buy that house. Number two, have the house to herself. I think she has some like slight medical condition. She kind of uses it. I believe that this is part of how she operates, where she uses it to be able to say, well, I'm going to need a house. I can't live in like a rented house where there's like mold in the ceiling or something. Like it's got to be top of the line. I just feel that something's going on behind the scenes with that. Preston looks like he has a lot. Yeah, he looks like he made a good family. I hope he's going to pull through. My hubby says that they look like friends. I'm going to get them. I'm going to have them done. So, tell your hubby, like, screw him. I'm just kidding. I'm going to have them look perfect over my eyes. Okay. Yes, Robin loved being now she's just the wife. Exactly. Good point, Ivana. Robin now has to be married to the triple divorce Cody. Okay. Thyroid problems can exacerbate depression. Yeah. I think she has thyroid problems for sure. Just an allegation. I don't really know. Okay, Marissa, the way Cody thought she was going to die when she was, 100. Well, I think that they would have said this no matter what. I just think they're really weird. I've seen this from Cody before. He's like really scared of people getting sick. They also don't have health insurance, I think. So I think that's kind of part of it too. Where he's like, oh shit, we're going to have to pay a big bill to the hospital. So, okay. But Marissa says the way Cody thought she was going to die when she wasn't even on oxygen for COVID made me believe that the neck thing could have some truth. I hope she's healthy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Marissa, you're so right. I don't mean to make fun. I hope that they're all, healthy and fine. But it's definitely been something that people have talked about. And I think it's like really on target. Because to me, it makes sense that that's why Janelle would be like, yeah, let's give Robin the money she needs for the house. Robin's needs got put first a lot. And I think she was like, number one, I have a child on the autism spectrum. And then number two, I have a health condition. And that's how she was able to like never have to work, always get the best of everything. I think it like worked out for her. And I think Cody also likes the fact that like she's like she needs me, you know, like he can kind of play that to the other wives too. Like, well, Robin has this and this. And I think I think something's going on behind the scenes they haven't told us about. Did you know that Robin doesn't want her kids to know about their dad being sick with cancer? Yes, I've heard this. I've heard that it was something like she didn't want to tell them at first, but she did eventually tell them. And that could be like a whole separate video probably.
It was different.
Did you see Robin's face again? She was like, it's you and me again. Let me do close up on my face. It's like, if Ivana was my sister wife and I was like, Ivana, it's you and me again. Like if I did that to you, Ivana, would you feel good about us having Thanksgiving together? Okay. Constantine says, to be fair, we all deserve a nice mold-free place to live. I think it's okay to be on that. Constantine, I feel you. And yet, living abroad, every single place we've ever lived in, there was like no mold-free places to live. Mold was everywhere. So I always find it interesting that in the United States, it's a big thing to be like, we cannot be around mold. I don't think there's anything, I get that. And I have a lot of friends who have been like, mold has destroyed my health. So I just think it's interesting because I always say like my kids, hopefully they developed tolerance to mold from having to live around it for the past 6 years. Do you really think this is real? It seems so scripted. I think they give them a light script to talk about, but I do think it's based upon real events. That's my thought process about it. Robin looks so anemic, the skin of the malaise. I'm sorry. You're probably just like being serious, but I just think it's so funny. The malaise. Yeah, she does. Something's going on with her, right? I've heard the reason for the nanny is because Robin often sleeps all day. I have health stuff and yeah. And I can totally see that. And fatigue is like a real thing. I don't know if you guys are aware, because just to relate to this, Marissa, not that it like, but I do have Crohn's disease. And this was actually, I was going to do a video about like something that's happened to me in my life is like, I want to be the best mom possible. But then like sometimes as bad as I want to be a good mom, I will get so sick and there's like no way for me to get up and take care of my kids in the way that they should be taken care of. And so I was just kind of thinking about how like this really can affect someone. So who knows what's going on with Robin, but I do believe, even though I kind of make fun or make light of stuff, like if someone is sick, it can really affect like their daily lives for sure. Mary is cold. Why can't they go in Robin's house? Ramona, we talked about this earlier. Ramona's here, everyone. Ramona's the best. She always makes me laugh. Okay, Mary is cold. Why can't they go in Robin's house? Because Mary is carrying germs, Ramona. Did you ever like think about that? She like carrying anything. You know, she's just gross. From Robin's perspective, Mary's gross. That's why she can't go in the house. Okay, let's see. The fifth wife's brows get a coyote. Mary, that was such a good joke. Oh, I love that. Okay. Oh, Nancy says, I have lupus. I understand you. Yes, Nancy, lupus is like a huge deal to live with on a daily basis. And I've also wondered if that's what might be going on with Robin. I've thought about that before too. All right, let's try to watch a little bit more. I'm sorry it's been so long. I didn't realize how long it was.
Last year's Thanksgiving was weird in that.
She says, it was always made clear to me that whatever religion I embraced as an adult, whether it was our branch of fundamentalism, LDS or something else, it was entirely up to me. I find this like shockingly interesting. And I've heard many times before that the Brown family is really seen like in the AUB as being like a very good family, a very loving and accepting family in many ways. And I do think that we see that a lot in the show, the fact that like all of the kids were really encouraged and allowed to grow up and make their own decisions about which religious route they were going to take. Now, maybe Robin's situation was a little bit different with her kids. She did seem to be more like letting us know that she was going to expect children to kind of stay. I'll see. I've heard from a lot of people they thought it was totally boring. I did focus entirely on like just looking at Mary's psychology and stuff like that. I found it interesting because I was all about like what's going on with Mary behind the scenes. But I get it. A lot of people are like, this is so stupid. Why did they even have this? Constantine, what did you say about Robin? I can't find it. I want to say it again. Say it because I like to hear like when people have a view that's like a little bit unpopular. I like to hear that a lot. I want to know like what people think that's kind of on the other side. Okay, Constantine says, I'm medically fragile and horribly allergic, so I'm triggered. Yeah. I get that. And I have a really good friend, really sick, and she's, you know, they found out that it was like mold behind walls and stuff. So I totally believe that that's true. I have IBS. It gets very frustrating. Oh my God. I think that because I have Crohn's, like I really can relate to people who have IBS for sure. And it is difficult to just take care of people the way you want to as a mom for sure. Oh, but then Ivana says, but I never got a nanny. I know, girl. I know. That's what's crazy is Robin has been, you know, treated pretty well by that family. Would they have been as open about kids and freedom if they hadn't been on the show? Good. Such a good question, Big Mama's House podcast. So you talk about Sisterwives on your podcast. We got to go over and check it out because this is a great point. If they hadn't been on the show, would their kids have been as free? I don't think so. I don't think so for sure. I'm glad that maybe it opened up some freedom for them. I can't stand to watch Cody being abusive. It's disturbing. Yeah. Gross. And value her religious principles for as long as they're living at home. But I did feel like the other wives were very much like, I want my kids to choose for themselves.
Big and loud and fun, and
is talking about how like it's been weird because last holiday it just like wasn't very fun, and then they show this clip and I'm like, yes, this looks like a depressing, sad, sick holiday. I know people are like, I don't want to talk about the holidays anymore, but I do think it looks like shit. Like Christine and Janelle and their kids made the holidays fun. Robin is boring. Robin is like way too over the top. I mean, and so is Mary. Like they're boring. Who wants to be around them? I don't want to be around them. Like Mary and Janelle are they're just cooler people. You know, that's my feeling about it. Okay, let me see if I can just quickly run through this. I swear she seems like drunk there, but I like it. I actually really like her like this. It's like my favorite form of Mary. Beck said, how is Robin over the top and boring? I mean, she's over the top in that everything has to be perfect. So she's over the top in the way she's like, it has to be this way. It has to, like, I did the turkey. Is it perfect? She's like that. But she's boring in that, like, because she's so regimented and everything has to be a certain way, there's like no room for fun. That's what I'm saying if it sounded weird. I was saying that I felt a bit icky when they were talking about Robin malingering. It made me feel that's how people think about me because I have migraines and you can't see those. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say, I just have no thoughts of Robin as malingering because she hasn't come out and said like what's wrong and what's going on. I do think people do malinger. So as a nurse, Constantine, you know, we're taught to just always take pain, you know, for what people say it is. But I've definitely been in situations where like at the end of whatever we're doing, you find out that someone is like using us for the pain medicine or whatever. So, you know, I've seen both sides of the story. I just think we don't know enough about what's going on with Robin to really get it. But I do hope that everyone knows there's lots of types of illnesses and pain that is invisible. Like you can't see it. And the person is really dealing with a lot of hard challenges in their lives. We know that things can be very invisible. Okay. If I had to deal with Sabin and Cody, I'd be drunk too. Yes, I agree. Mary can get as drunk as she wants. We're almost done. Let's just see.
I'm trying not to get, what is that word?
Moment in time when I feel like Mary's basically saying she could have left the community. Okay, so I'll just talk about this so we don't have to watch. So basically, the last part of that clip is that Robin is like, I'm starting to feel depressed. And they're just kind of talking about like what life is going to look like going forward. And that was the part of the episode that I really wanted to focus on because I was so interested in like Mary's role in all of this. I do believe that Mary's been done with this family for a long time. I think that she is very heavily interested in, or she was heavily interested in this weird relationship she had with Robin. She thought it was going to save like her life, basically. But she kind of toddled off and went and found this guy online and was doing crazy shit with that. I also think that Mary, that's for another video, some stuff behind the scenes I think that Mary does. I think that Mary does shitty things to Christine and Janelle behind the scenes, 110%. I think that Mary's not a very good person to Christine and Janelle behind the scenes. So even though I have like some sadness for Mary or like empathy for her, I also believe she has her own issues. What I do talk about is the end of the chapter, this first tidbit about Mary. It says, Mary says that like she had always thought she was going to grow up and live a polygamist lifestyle. And then all of a sudden she got a job at like a local photo shop and she made all these friends at this photo shop who were not part of the community. And she started to think like, maybe I'm starting to move. She became more outgoing and she's like, maybe I'm going to kind of move away from this community and maybe I won't be polygamous. And then it literally says, and then I met Cody Brown. And that's the end of this first part of the book. And the next part is about Cody. So this was the area that I wanted to talk about in this live. The next episode, I'll pick another part of the book, another part of the episode to chat about, and I'll probably switch it up a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how best to do these lives. I am going to also put some more videos out about what's going on with this book because I think it's interesting. And yeah, I'm just so glad that you guys were able to make it here, that I was able to do the live, even though it was a little crazy and chaotic in its own way. Let me see what you guys have been saying. Constantine. Oh. I don't know what that's about. Tiffany. She thought she found her own replacement so she could escape. Is that Mary? Like Robin was her replacement? Yeah, it's possible. At the time, I thought maybe that was the only way of dealing with those early feelings. Let me see. I have to go up because I'm... Okay, Dizzy Me. Someone said earlier it speaks volumes none of the kids chose polygamy, except Leon used to want it. Yeah, that was weird, right? Leon was like so hardcore about it. She loved the religion. She was going to live it. I want opinions. Do you think Leon used to think there was wife interaction and the way to be gay? Ah, oh, that's interesting. Because recently... she said that she knew she was gay from a very early age. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something like, I saw a Barbie or I saw a girl and I just knew, like I was attracted to her. Yeah, and I have so many thoughts about this. Because just like, how much can I say really? But like, isn't it weird kind of in this book that I'm talking about that Mary says that her mother was like one that really wanted to have additional wives and really pushed it and was really into it. And then Mary also becomes that way. And Mary kind of has weird interactions with these other women. It's like she's seeking something out. So, you know, it could be nothing, but it's just something that I think about a lot. Okay. I think Leon wanted to please their parents. Yeah, that was like, she was, they at that time were very much devoted to like staying in line, doing the things that they thought were expected of them. There would not be enough wine in all Flagstaff to keep me from going bonkers at the Browns holidays. Yeah, no, getting drunk could be fun though, for sure. What if, oh my God, we should like start a GoFundMe for all of us to fly to Flagstaff for Christmas and just like stalk the Browns. Oh, carol at the Browns at Robin's house. We all go caroling at Robin's house. Oh my God. We can do this. We can make it happen. Okay. I'm enjoying the history and what they wrote in the book. It's a good, oh, thank you, Francesca. I want to do something a little different. So I'm still working on trying to figure out how the lives will go. Dizzy me. At the time, I thought that was the only way of dealing with those early feelings. Actually, I really get that. She had these early feelings and then she's like, oh, so it would be good to have sister wives. I could see that. There are two sides. I don't know what that's from. Sorry, Constantine, I missed part of it. I went into liver failure. Oh my gosh, Kathy. I am a non-drinker. I have many medical problems. I also have thyroid problems. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear about that. We were just talking about the possibility that Robin might have thyroid problems as well. So that's something that's like always been on my mind. And I am a non-drinker. Yeah. Unfortunately, like some really hard things happen to the best of people. And it's like assumed, I know, well, I'm not going to go into it. Like, I know someone that has lung cancer who's never smoked. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And people just assume that they have to be a smoker. I think Leon at the time thought gay equals sin. So they felt sister wives were the best option to try to be happy. Marissa, that's very wise. Yes, I think that's a total possibility. Then Leon was able to see through the trees. Yeah, and like it's kind of neat because truly, I will say this. I think Cody and especially Mary gave Leon wings in certain ways. Like they paid for her to go to school to get out of the community they were in and like find their own way and their own path. Truly, like with all the things that Cody's done wrong or Mary's done wrong or any of the wives have done wrong, when you look at their kids, you have to be like, they really did give their kids wings. And that's something I'd like to do for my own kids. So even though they've made mistakes. Eyebrow Club Life. I agree, Emma. Oh my God. We do a GoFundMe. We dress up, we get to Flagstaff, we all put the eyebrows on. I'll make the shirts, and then we go caroling at Robin's house. Good idea? What do you think? I think you guys are right, but the question always lingered, so I thought I'd ask. Yeah. I liked that question. That was a great question. She said that she realized she just wanted the sister wives in one episode. Leon said that. Leon said that they wanted just this. I like that. I really like that. Ivana, you're so great. I'm going to message you and figure out how you can get a membership. We'll figure it out together. And Kat, too. Learn to Grow 2023. I'm combining info from the book. Oh, okay, great. It was for me, too, because, like, I don't know everything about their past. Oh, thank you, Constantine. Yeah, I've had like some really great people in my lives. I really appreciate all of you. Okay, fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. People don't get what we go through if they don't have chronic health issues. Yes, I know this very young girl who's dealing with that combination. It's been so hard for her because, and I'm sure you've probably seen this in your own life, Deborah, especially like because she's young, everyone around her is so active. She's still in high school. And so hard for her, like just that people don't understand her. Her peers don't get her. We need an eyebrow. Yeah. Oh, okay, Kat. So when I made the membership, Kat, you and I should talk. I made the membership and it was like, what emojis do you want to make for your members? And I was like, I don't know how to make emojis. I don't even know how to tell people to get to the membership. So I should try. I'll try to find when my kids go back to school. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is just say a little something about my kids. Thank you to all of you who sent me messages. Today was a day where I went to a bunch of meetings. The meetings went really well. Like I felt so good about the school and everything that was going on. And then we had back to school night and I took my kids there and it was a little different than what I had expected given the meetings. I felt like in the meetings, they were so like, we're so excited to have you and we love your children and like, you're the best and we're going to have a great time here. And then when we showed up for the back to school, it was like, who are you? So I mean, it's fine. None of it is like negative, but I'm just kind of like, I'm so worried. I love my kids so much and I feel like they deserve to, they've been moved around so much. And that's because of me and my husband. And like, I just want them to have a good life. So I'm like really taking deep breaths. And like if I could go and do it for them, I would. I don't want anyone to make fun of them. I just have this, you guys know, I'm not the only one. It's like your heart is, a piece of your heart is going with them when they walk out the door and they go into school. And I would just do anything to protect them from the world, and I can't protect them there. And so I've never had this problem before. I think it's because my kids have always attended international schools, and now we're finally back in the US and they're going to a public school system. And it's not like I'm like, oh, this isn't a good school. So I don't know anything about it. We're just kind of going in and doing what we have to do. But I feel like it's unfair because I do see that the other kids there have been at this school always. They know each other, so it's not easy. And anyway, if you can say some prayers and all of that for my kids, and then also that I keep my anxiety down because my anxiety affects them, right? Okay. I love you guys so much. Please look out for a lot more videos once my kids are in school, because basically I'm going to fill all my time that I'm anxious making videos for you guys. All right. I love you so much. Thank you. Someone said Craft Lady was giving all these memberships. Craft Lady, that was like really kind of you, and I appreciate it so much. I love all of you, and I hope all of you that have kids that are going, send me a message and I'll say prayers for your kids too, because I know how it is. Love to all of you. Hope you have a great day. Tomorrow I'll try to put out a Kate Goslin video, and love you all so much. Bye.